probably saw the previous video where we actually gave you the update on getting the hood on and how the actual new springs for the hood hinges work. Now, the last thing I did recently was tidied up a few extra things I said I was going to do in the previous few videos, and that was, kind of clean up the look and the hinges and the side pieces that go to the cowl and the inner fender, and well, take a look, show you exactly how we got that all to happen. So we got the springs done, that's great, and we've checked, make sure that the hood functions, and we found we had to do a little clearancing on the insides, which we did, double checked it, everything's good to go. So to finish kind of cleaning up the look from removal of the torsion bar hood springs, before I put this piece back on, which we had to remove to do the cowl, as you remember, I'm just going to drill a line, kind of in line from this edge here, all the way up. I'm just going to cut this piece off. We'll heat this up, flatten this out, try and weld this hole shut, clean up the look of that, and then up here, we're going to get real ambitious. I'm drawing a line here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to radius this out, cut this off. I'm going to slice right down this section here, bend this around to meet this point down here, and we're going to remove this funky hook. That way it will complete the cleanup look from removal of the torsion bar hood springs. And here's a quick shot after we've removed all that we're going to remove. We got that radius quite nicely, and we're just going to kind of bend this around. We'll mark it, cut it, hold it in place, and we'll start welding from the back side a little at a time, and we'll see how it turns out. And here's the finished product. What do you think? Not too bad. Got a little bit more cleanup doing there to, really tighten it up. A little more grinding up in right there and this line there. But we welded it from the back side. See that contour coming around. We got a little bit more to do in that one spot. And high-def cameras pick up every little flaw, don't they? But not too bad. Really cleans up the look of that hinge, as opposed to that big ugly hook hanging out there. Not too bad. Well, now you can see we've taken this side piece, like we said, we've heated this up, flattened it out, and I filled the hole up, trimmed off the top edge, and now all remnants of the old torsion bar hood springs on this side of the car are gone. So now we just got to weld this back in place, but before we do that, what we found out when we did the cowl, we took the pieces off of here, well, there was a lot of rust starting in this area here. Now we were able to do a pretty good job of cleaning all the rust out around it with some scuff pads, but this pitting in here, it's hard to get all that out. I could try and sandblast that out, media blast it, soda blast it, whatever, but I don't feel like getting pelted back in the face, even through my helmet. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something like this, like a liquid, this is called Metal Blast, and it's designed to dissolve rust. So we're going to spray that on there and let it soak. Use a wire brush to get really in there, clean it good. When it's all done, we'll flush it out, make sure it's done. Give that a nice coat of our weld-through primer, and we'll do the same thing on the back side of our piece. Put it back in place, weld it up. Well, everything is all set, cleaned up, rust is gone. Took a while to really wire brush all that out. Everything's got a nice coat of weld-through primer. Get this mounted up. Be back in a few minutes. And here we have the finished product. Everything's welded back in place, ground down. That hinge looks really good. Clearanced back edge of the cowl so that pin can slide right past. And we've taken off the remnants of where the old torsion bar springs go through that panel there. Well, now that we've come this far, you're probably asking, well, what does it look like with the fender installed? Glad you asked. Yeah, it's just bolted in place with 2 bolts on the inner edge here. It's not really tight anywhere. Just gonna hang it there, give you an idea of how that's gonna look later on. Now, of course, we gotta clean things up a bit. Get it painted, of course. But no more torsion bars. Well, there you have it. We went ahead and radiused the hood hinges, got rid of that hook that held the roller for the torsion bar springs. We took the support out, we patched, welded the hole shut for the through part. It really cleaned the look of the entire engine bay up by doing that. Now the last thing we need to do is there's the brace, this bracket down here, it's on the firewall. When we get the engine out, we'll get that cut off and smooth the firewall look out as well. We're going to need that out of the way because one of the projects you'll be seeing soon is we're going to put air conditioning in the car too. We're going to use a factory AC box, so we got to get that all mapped out. But that's for another video coming soon. But we got a lot more planned here for Project Barracuda. Well, until next time, I want to thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to the channel.